Hello, I am the Midlife Mystic. I'm a Silicon Valley product designer. I built billion-dollar products. I've led design at some of the biggest companies in the world. And we are here today because I'm going to teach you about design and I'm going to teach you about mysticism. This is the one show in the world, at least I don't know of another show like this, where I'm going to teach you about design and mysticism intertwined. I've had a 25-year career as a designer, and I spent most of that time as a mystic. I've traveled the world, backpacked through Asia. I met the Dalai Lama. I've meditated with Tibetan Buddhist monks in the Himalayas. I've had a lot of adventures that have weaved their way through my life, and I've always been a little bit of a mystic inside. So now this is my side project. I'm the Midlife Mystic. I have a design agency in Silicon Valley, and I consult with some of the top companies. So if you're interested in working together in an approach that fuses design and mysticism, hit me up anytime. This is the first episode of this show called The Mystic Method. So if you're watching this, welcome to something brand new, exciting. This is number one. I hope we look back on this one day and say, I remember when he was wandering a trail, trying to figure out what the heck he was talking about. And so that's part of the point of number one, is I have an idea of what I want to teach you in this show and in this episode, and I'll tell you that in just a second. But beyond that, I'm kind of riffing because I believe that our best work happens when we allow the universe to express something through us. And that's really what this show is about at a deeper level. And the show is called The Mystic Method. This is episode one. And so I'm going to teach you about design, and I'm going to teach you about mysticism. And so I'm going to teach you about how these two topics can intertwine and how they've intertwined in my own work to produce award-winning work at the best companies in the world, to build a product that got acquired for $1 billion. I'm going to teach you best practices that the best designers in the world use. And I'm going to teach you about the nature of reality, because our understanding, we're living through an era where our understanding of reality is evolving. The nature of reality is essentially changing because our ability to understand reality is evolving. And one of the most remarkable ideas that the latest scientific breakthroughs in the world of quantum theory are pointing to is that it might be that our mind creates consciousness, because the old model of reality is based on the idea that physical reality, the things we see all around us, are the foundation of everything. There's nothing behind those things. So the world is basically a world built on things. If you're here, there's probably part of you at least that realizes that that doesn't seem right. That model of reality proposes that consciousness is, and bear with me here for a minute because this all relates to what I'm going to talk to you about. It proposes that consciousness itself is a product of physical materials, physical phenomenon, biology, that your brain produces consciousness. I'm going to tell you something. Your brain doesn't produce consciousness. Your brain is a receiving and a tuning device. And this is important because when you realize this, you realize that reality itself isn't actually the foundation of everything. The foundation of everything is your own consciousness. Okay? Your consciousness perceives reality. Your consciousness sees reality and shapes reality. And this is what my approach to design is all about. It's about harnessing the power of the idea that you can achieve extraordinary things in the world when you realize that you are actually much more infinite than you realize. Most of us go through life thinking that we are just this human whose body we're in. I got news for you. You're a spiritual being having a human experience. This human journey is this human experience you're having. This human that you think of yourself as is just a small, tiny little sliver of who you are. Consider that for a minute, because most of us go through life thinking, this is who I am. But what if who you think you are is a tiny sliver, a speck, maybe a grain of sand on the beach of who you really are, because who you really are is everything, most infinite being in the universe. What we know about the true nature of reality is that actually everything is energy. And the ground I'm walking on, and the chair you're sitting in, and the clothes you're wearing seem solid, seem like those things aren't energy, but I want to tell you, everything is energy. And things that seem solid are simply energy vibrating at a lower frequency. So consider that everything is energy. Your mind shapes your own reality, because consciousness comes before reality. It's not reality, it's not biology that produces consciousness. It's consciousness that produces your reality. So what does that say about the things that you want to design? It says that you have much more power than you realize. But in order to harness that power, what's required is remembering how powerful you actually are. Remembering that you are as powerful as the universe itself, because you have life force energy moving through you. You have the energy of the universe channeling through you. How remarkable is that? You are literally made in the image of God. You are God. As blasphemous as that might sound, we all have that power. And that's what the mystic method is about at its core, is the idea that you have the power to create anything you want. Whether that's a product you're designing for your company, whether it's your company itself, whether it's your industry. And I've played a role in shaping multiple industries over 25 years of my career. So if you want to shape an industry, if you want to shape the world, or if you want to change yourself. And by the way, you don't need to change yourself. If you feel like you want to change, if you feel like there's a better version of you available, well, guess what? You don't need, a lot of people spend a lot of effort trying to change themselves. And I spent a lot of my life trying to change myself. And it was exhausting, because what I eventually realized is, what did I just teach you a minute ago? Our consciousness shapes reality. Our consciousness controls, creates the things that exist in the world. And so if you want to change yourself, stop exerting so much effort trying to change yourself. And instead, simply do this. Just change the way you see yourself. Oh. And what you will find is that you're going to take the biggest sigh of relief that you've ever taken in your life, because you thought you needed to change yourself to be happy. You don't need to change yourself. You just need to change the way you see yourself, change your outlook, change what you believe, change the way you see your story. Realize that the way you see the world is accurate, more accurate than you realized. So we're going to talk about design in this show. We're going to talk about mysticism. This is episode 1, where I'm just really trying to figure out what I'm going to do here. I'm winging it. I don't want to come in heavily scripted. I'm going to probably come in with a loose idea of what I'm going to talk about and kind of wing it, but I'm going to rely on you. So if you're watching this, please say hi. Don't be shy. Say hi in the comments. Let me know who you are. Let me know what you're up to. Let me know what you're working on. Whether it's that you want to create a breakthrough product or you want to become a breakthrough product. So let me know what the product is that you're going to be applying the things I'm going to be teaching you in this show to, so that I know how to target the lessons. Every show is going to have a specific lesson. That's what I'll offer you, is that every show will have a specific lesson. And I can teach you about a variety of different aspects of design. I can teach you about a variety of different aspects of personal reinvention. And by the way, the most effective designs in the world, and this is one of the things we'll talk about, the most effective designs in the world provide a deeper transformation. And so if you want to design transformative products, the key is remembering that what your product actually offers is not just the service or the features that it accomplishes, but that your product provides a deeper transformation. And an important note about that is that, number one, it provides a meaningful transformation to what I'll call your end user, the person who's going to use your product. What is the deeper transformation? And a deeper transformation is about, guess what? Guess what it's about? What do you think the deeper transformation is about at its core? You got it. I think you said it right. I have a little bit of trouble with hearing, but I think you said it right. The deeper transformation is that they're going to change the way they see themselves. And so I designed a tech product that got acquired for $1 billion. And the reason it was as valuable as it was because a lot of reasons, but one of the core reasons was that it provided a deeper transformation. It was it was a product that served a simple function, and there were other products that did this same thing. We were the first, but there were others that came along that did a similar thing, but they didn't get bought for $1 billion. Ours did, because it didn't just fulfill on the function. It didn't just do what it said it was going to do on the packaging, but it actually made people feel different about themselves. It made people see themselves differently, and that was transformative. And that power was the force that led people around the world to want to buy this product for other people in their lives, because it empowered people. It changed the way they thought of themselves. And so that's what you have to think of if you're creating a product and you want it to be a transformative breakthrough product that changes the world. The key is to think about, what is the transformation for your again, I'll call it your target user, your target customer, even though I don't really like referring to people as sort of like labels, but it's sometimes what we need to just to be able to talk about these concepts. But when you get into the process of actually doing the work, you've got to remember not to think of your people as like user A, target end user. Just think of them as like John or Nancy, and create real people in your mind, and go out in the world and talk to people who are actually using your products, and understand them, understand who they are, understand their deeper desires. Okay, I'm going to try not to get too rambly in this and stay more focused in future episodes, but also I love hanging out, so I wanted to give you a little bit of a taste of who I am and how I talk and my style. And again, I'm still kind of breaking in and shaping and figuring out exactly how this show is going to work. But that's the key, is what is the deeper transformation that your product provides? And here's another layer to that, which is, what is the deeper transformation in it for you? Because if you want to create a transformative product, like I said, maybe I didn't say this yet, but doing your best work is about letting inspiration work through you, letting something be expressed through you. And so the key is learning that you are going to transform. You personally are going to transform in the process of doing your best work. And that's exciting. And so let's get into the process. I'm going to try and keep these episodes to 15 minutes. And I think what I'll do is in every one, I'm going to have one lesson. And then I'll teach you. I'll teach you the lesson. I'll teach you about the process that I use. And by the way, the Mystic method is a process. It's a product development, product design, product development process that I developed over 25 years. It helps design a product that got acquired for $1 billion. It's been used to create products at some of the biggest companies in the world. And the point is, it works. It's been tested in the field over many years. I'd be happy to come and teach it to you in person. The work I do nowadays is teaching actually another method that's not part of the Midlife Mystic. It's part of me in my real world persona. So again, the Mystic is a little bit of a side project, just kind of teaching this stuff with a fun flair on it, expressing just more of the things that I believe in at a deeper level that I don't necessarily talk as much about in my regular work, which is a little bit more conservative. So that's kind of what the Midlife Mystic is all about for me. So this is what I'm going to leave you with, is if you want to create a breakthrough product, and that breakthrough product could be a product you're designing for your company, that you want to change the lives of people and affect the world. It could be your company itself, because your company itself is a product. Or if you think of your company as a product, that will unlock some possibilities for you. And that's something else we're going to talk about in future episodes. Or it could be yourself, because you are the greatest product you're ever going to create. And it's another thing we're going to talk about is thinking of yourself as a product. I know that sounds like a weird concept, but bear with me, because when you think of yourself the way I'm going to teach you to think of yourself, you're going to become empowered, and you're going to become more creative and inspired, and you're going to love your work more. So if you want to create an effective product, if you want to design something incredible, if you want to design something that has an impact, there's 5 things. There's 5 things you need. Number 1, and some of them we've kind of danced around as we've gone through this conversation, but number 1 is you have to know where you want to go. Let's see your destiny. You have to see your destination. Be clear, and coming from a place of knowing that anything is possible. So number 1, see your destination. Know where you want to go. Know where you want to take the end user of your product, the person who interacts with your product, or the person who interacts with you. When you have conversations with someone, where do you want to lead them? How do you want to influence the world? Okay, so number 1, you have to know where you want to take people. You have to know what the destination is for yourself, and for anyone on the other end. Number 2, you have to be able to see a path to achieving that, okay? Now, the important note here is it doesn't mean that the path you see is going to be the path that you take. And this is one of the most important principles of the mystic method. So number 1, to know where you want to go. Number 2, you have to be able to at least have an idea, let's say, of the path there. And then number 3, you have to uncover the deeper transformation. And then an important part of this, so you have to know, again, what's the deeper transformation behind this product that I'm designing? What does it really exist for? You know, what is it really producing in people? And remember, that transformation is about changing how people see themselves. Primarily, it can also be about changing how they see the world, but how we see the world is a reflection on how we see ourselves. So you should be thinking about, what is the deeper transformation? What do you want to change in people? And what do you want to change in yourself? But then this is the third thing. So the first thing is, what's your you have to have a clear destination. The second thing is you have to be able to see a path there, a possible path, knowing it probably is not going to be the path you're going to take, because the path you're going to take to get there, to design your product, to have this impact you want to have, is actually going to be inspired. It's going to be, and that's what the mystic method is about. It's about opening you up to the forces of inspiration, of the creative spark that's going to operate through you. Okay, so that's where number 3 comes in. So number 3 is you have to know the deeper transformation, but you have to personally feel the deeper transformation. You have to find a way to personally experience the deeper transformation that you hope for your product to produce, because you can experience that transformation before this product exists. And you have to, whether it's by talking to potential customers about the problem that your product is going to solve and understanding them on a deeper level, so that you can personally feel more deeply into what is on the other end of what you're producing. You have to feel that, because here's what's going to happen. Once you feel that, you're going to start to have a transformation that's going to inspire your work. And then you're going to approach your work differently. And this is the work I do with teams. I help individuals learn this process. It's basically about arriving at a place where the creative spark ignites in you and you get excited and inspired. And that's when you do your best work. You don't create your best work by working super long hours. This is important. You create your best work by getting into alignment with what you want. So that's number 3, is basically your work has to be inspired. Or number 4 is that you have to take inspired action. So number 3, go through it again. Again, this is episode 1, and I'm still sort of working through how I'm going to articulate these things. They're things I have thought deeply about for 25 years and wrapped up in a method that I teach publicly, or teach privately, sorry. And now this is sort of like the metaphysical spin on it. So we're kind of learning it together rebranding it, I'll say, reshaping it in real time. So again, number one is, where do you want to go? Where does this product, where does your own transformation want to lead you? Number two is, what is the path? What is the path that you see? Number three, you have to understand what the deeper transformation is. What is the deeper transformation you're hoping to achieve in people? And the number four is, that's the inspired action. You have to have inspired action. And that inspired action, that impulse that leads you or your team to create something in a new way, in a way that you've never done before, because that's how you're going to create your breakthrough products, by doing things in new ways, by the creative process operating through you and leading you to try something you've never tried. So that's number four. You have to have that spark of inspiration. And then number five is the best one. And this is what I'll leave you with, is you have to continue a deepening into the practice of being yourself, because the Mystic Method is all about doing your best work as yourself. Because the only way to screw up is to get in your own way, to overthink it, to get more involved than you need to be. So it's about taking a step back, not working so hard, and aligning yourself in a way that things will flow through you into your life, flow through you into your business, and teach your teams how to work in this way, where work just flows naturally, because that's how it's supposed to be. That's how the flowers grow. That's how nature works. All right, I went way over time here, but thanks for hanging out with me. This is only episode 1, and I can't wait to get better at this every day. Please say hi in the comments. Please give me any feedback. I'd love to hear what you're working on, or anything else you want to share. Give me feedback, criticism. I know this was very drawn out and rambly, but we'll get better every time. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you tomorrow.